Man, I reboot everything. Phone not working right? Reboot. Computer not working right? Reboot. Toast came out too light? Reboot. Hi there, Adam here. Now, one of the big buzzwords of last year is the Internet of Things, where everything around you becomes part of the Internet, connected to, taking data from, putting data out into the Internet. So, the Internet of Things, what the whole concept is basically everything around you will eventually be connected to the Internet. And we're going to see that trend starting very soon. But one of the things that comes before any sort of a trend is the development behind that trend. So today, we're going to take a look at the Spark Core. Now what this little device does is it allows you to hook up just about anything to the Internet and enable it to be part of the Internet of Things. So, let's get started. Alright, so here we have the Spark Core and the Relay Shield. So let's open the box and see what's inside. Here we have a Spark Core sticker and the Spark Core itself on a breadboard. This is a pretty standard breadboard, and it can be used for just about any kind of electronics projects you can think of. Here we have a USB cable, and it's got the Spark branding on it, micro USB. And here we have the Relay Shield. Now this Relay Shield takes the Spark Core, and the Spark Core plugs directly into it. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this Spark Core off of the breadboard and put it onto the Relay Shield. We can go ahead and put away the rest of this stuff. We won't be needing it for right now. Now what I've got here is a battery power supply. So we'll go ahead and hook up power to this unit. And the first thing we can see is that this little light is starting to blink. So in order to pair this device up, what we need to do is we need to install the Spark Core application on the device. Then we can put in our Wi-Fi password and hit the connect button. The process should take about 30 seconds. Alright, so after a bit of troubleshooting, I found that the Nexus 5 was not able to connect up to this device at all. So we're going to go ahead and use the Nexus 7. And as you can see right there, we've got a solid blue light, which means that we are connected now. It is going to go ahead and do its pairing, and we should be good to go. Now it's telling me to go ahead and name the core that is shouting rainbows. And here we can see the basic layout of the Spark Core. Let me align that a little bit better. There we go. Alright, so what we have here is basically all of these pins correspond to all of those pins right there. So what we're going to do is we want to turn on the test LED, which is located right there on the core, and we will do that by hitting D7. We'll set that to digital right, and then we can tap the area of D7 to bring that light on. And we can go ahead and tap again to turn it back off. So what we'll do now is we will hit the high button again, and you'll notice that it turns right back off. So let's go ahead and do something more cool with this. Sorry about the lighting change, I have a shiny spot right here that I wanted to get rid of. So to really emphasize the thing part of the Internet of Things, we're going to be making a device that can control just about anything. We're going to use a PowerStrip, a project box, the Spark Core, and some miscellaneous safety devices. Wait, it's time for a message on safety. Alright, so I really wanted to point out that you should never try this at home. I actually have certifications and the proper training to perform this sort of work. But you know, when you go cutting a cord on a 110 or 220 device at home, you're taking the risk of really doing a lot of damage. Now, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things that can happen, like you could burn down your house, you could electrocute yourself, you could lose just about everything you own. And you have no one to blame except yourself. Normally, you know, if you buy a piece of electronics and it's in perfect condition and it goes ahead and just does something crazy, you could blame the manufacturer for that. I mean, look at what's going on with the Samsung battery situation. But there's options out there, like you can get a relay for your device and plug that into the wall and then control the relay with Spark Core. However, this kit that I have here, it actually came with these relays, so I really wanted to try this out. Alright, so just letting you know, we covered relays before, and I showed an excellent alternative to how you can control a power outlet with a microcontroller. So I would recommend going ahead and check that out. Make sure we get the link down in the description down below. But let's continue on. Alright, so what we have here is we have a power line going in and a power strip coming out. Now what this does here is this spark core will power on, connect up to the internet, and then trigger these relays upon command. Now what that'll do is it will turn off the hot wire inside of here, thus shutting off power to the power strip, or turning it on depending on how this thing is configured. Let me show you. Now, first off, I want to recommend that you never do this. I needed this power strip here so that I could bring power up to the bench and show you guys. So, first thing, we'll plug in the spark core, turn on the power strip, and as you can see, the light's coming on, and we're getting connected up to the internet. We'll go ahead and plug in the power strip now. And, as you can see, the power strip has a dull green light on it. Maybe it would be better if I turned this off. Alright, so now, as you can see, everything is connected up, and we can now use the Spark Core app to turn on and off the relay. Now, as you can see, this power light right here, when I hit this button, turns off. Now, this is really cool. The reason why is because you can control just about anything using this power strip. But now, the limits of these relays here is actually 10 amps. So if you power anything more than 10 amps, you're actually exceeding the limits that these can handle. So something to pay attention to here if you decide that you wanted to follow this method instead of buying a plug-in wall outlet that you could hook up to the Spark Core itself, is that these relays only handle 10 amps, whereas your standard wall outlet can handle up to 20. So make sure that you take into account the amp ratings on the back of the devices that you're using. So now that we've demonstrated how this thing works with the Spark Core controlling the power strip, let's go ahead and reconfigure this a little bit. So what we have here is the power control for the Spark Core itself. When we disconnect that, you'll notice that the power goes off there. So what happens if we plug the Spark Core power into the power strip that the Spark Core is controlling? So what I have here is a Cisco router, and what we'll go ahead and do is we will control this router using the Spark Core. So let's go ahead and power on the relay, and as you can see, the Cisco device rebooted. Now, I did suggest that there are alternatives out there which don't involve you cutting a cord, and those would be preferable in a situation like this if you don't know much about electricity. You can actually get a power outlet that's got a little relay built into it, and you can use that relay to hook up your Spark cord and just use that to control the outlet. And that would be a much better option for many people out there. So that's about all for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and add me to your circles on Google+. Go to plus.adamoutler.com. Until next time, hack on.